wanted to talk today about food aggression. As you can see, if you've watched any of my videos, you can see that both my horses are really good with me around food. However, I did want to talk about the whole issue of food aggression because it wasn't always the case. When we first got Billy, he didn't have any noticeable food aggression because he was near death from starvation, and he could barely live, let alone fight over food or anything like that. But as he got better, one of the things that really kind of stood out to us was that he didn't like anyone to be around him when he was eating. He was concerned, anxious, would not want you in his space. Now, he never threatened us in the sense that he never bit us or tried to kick us or do anything like that, but he certainly shook his head and waved his face around at us, flicked his tail, stomped his feet, did all kinds of things to show us that he was not happy about the whole concept of us being near him. Also, one of the other things with him is that he constantly has this urge to eat. And it's almost pathological. He's got to have something in his mouth all the time, and I think that's really more of a reflection of his fear of starving, because he starved for nearly 12 months as a youngster, and that had a serious emotional impact on him. But anyway, look, he could get really narky, especially with Kel, when it came to being in close proximity to him when he was having his dinner. So it took some time to get him used to being handled and touched. And not that I advocate for it, because I think horses are entitled to eat in peace, especially when it's their main meal. Difference is if he's got a hay net and I'm grooming him or something like that, then he has to tolerate it, and he's good. He's never bad with me over those issues. He's not bad with Kelly anymore, because Kel feeds him, as you probably noticed. Every day he gets treats. They have a few wrangle matches, they sort it out between themselves. But I've seen a lot of bad horse accidents happen when inexperienced owners think that they can do anything around their horse, despite the fact the horse is giving them warning signals and saying, stay away from me, I'm eating my dinner, and they ignore it and just continue on because they're not fully present in the moment with their horse. They've got a million and one things going on in their mind. And if you're not fully present when you're, you've got other things going on and you're just in your routine or off in your own little world, and you've missed those signals from your horse which says stay away. Horses will give you the eye. They'll give you a hard stare. They'll stick their ears back. In Bill's case, he'll nod his head vigorously up and down to show his displeasure. You've probably seen him do that a number of times, particularly to Bella. He does that whenever she makes him upset about anything, especially when it's to do with food. And so if you ignore those warning signs and you push through, well, you're likely to get a nip. And if you don't listen, the horse is likely to get harder and harder on you each time until you do listen. So if you haven't handled your horse around food or built up a level of resilience in your horse and coping power to be handled at feed times, don't just presume that it'll happen naturally, because it doesn't. And if you happen to have a horse like Billy who's been abused and starved, you could end up getting really hurt. So my advice is be ever present, fully engaged mentally around your horses, no matter what time of the day it is, and let them have their main meal in peace, and stick to grooming and doing maintenance things on them at your hay net when they've had their main meal and they're not particularly bothered, they're just chewing for the sake of chewing. All right, that's my advice for the day, but I hope that helps people.